collapsing. And so this is what has happened amongst black people. And I say, going back to the Cress theory, that the attack on the black male by the system of white supremacy, because of its concern about white genetic survival, is what has foundationally caused the collapse of the so-called black family structure, and therefore large numbers of young male children being forced to function without father guidance. Do you see, when you have children longing for fathers and no fathers are around because the fathers have been in one or another way destroyed, and so the children gather together. One of the phenomena is they can gather together in gangs, or they can feel frightened and immature, scared, you see, because everybody is frustrated and angry, or large numbers of people frustrated and angry and fighting, and so therefore I have to defend myself. Do you see? But we have to go back and look at what is that cause? What is the causation?
Because often we don't look at the cause. We just look at
some things we look at. What is the cause?
Yeah, sometimes
you see, and other things we don't. When you don't want to solve a problem, you never look for causation. You see, if you want the status quo to be maintained, then you start the alphabet at K instead of starting at A. Am I making? You see, if you want to understand the alphabet, you start at A. Do you see? But if you want to pretend as though you are addressing the problem.
You know, that just reminds me, a few years ago, this thing with David Kennedy down in Florida. You know, he died from an overdose of drug, and they had all the studies of why David didn't have his father there, and didn't feel his father's love oozing through his hand. Well, by the same token, how many black kids who don't have fathers too, and they don't do the study on them at all?
You see, if anybody just looked at the issue, what does a male child feel? Do you see, when father's not available to buy a birthday present, to buy Christmas presents, or to give general support? The deep depression that that child is in. One of the psychiatric centers I will not name in our area has an ad that comes on TV, do you see, about an adult male feeling down and depressed, and how, you know, it's so important that relatives and other people understand and call this, you know, mental health treatment center so the person can get help. You see, but we can have understanding for an adult who may be sad, but no understanding for a child. You see, when that happens, then you know that the society is really in trouble, when there is no understanding about the needs of children. You see, because children are the future.
And it's very profound psychological impact upon the child, too.
Exactly. Exactly. You see, so that for people who are genuinely interested in not just lamenting and complaining, but who say, we must understand these problems, that we are determined to, then I say, put children at the top of the agenda. You see, no, we're not going to put our major effort into punishing children. We are going to see where we have failed as older people. You see, because children are invited to the planet. Every child, white, black, brown, red, or yellow, is invited
to the planet.
That's like being invited to a party. Do you see? And then when you get there, you're hatcheted, as opposed to entertained and fed and allowed to be made comfortable, do you see, and feel whole.
You know, that reminds me also about the people who the abortion issue, pro-lifers and all, and that, you know, that whole issue. So concerned about children that are yet unborn, but don't see me so.
But the ones who are already here, you allow them to be homeless or to starve. There's a contradiction.
Yeah.
And I don't need to say any more.
And no more needs to be said about that. I want to ask you also about your position on the chessboard.
Oh, the concept of the chessboard. Okay.
Yes.
I'm not a chess player, but you know, I read about chess and understand the concept in the game, and I say that anyone who is interested in understanding the issue of racism, white supremacy, should understand the concept of the chessboard. Because when people sit down, I mean, they have chess tournaments, international chess tournaments, and people play chess without hating their opponent, you see. But for a given game, somebody is playing the white side of the chessboard and the other party is playing the black side of the chessboard. White always moves first, so that would be analogous to white supremacy or the domination of people of color that would be on the black side of the chessboard. Now, black people heretofore have been saying, please stop, don't do this, don't do that. Do you see? It would be analogous to the person on the black side of the chessboard saying to the person on the white side of the chessboard, don't move against my position. Do you see? But if you understand chess and you understand, no, that position, do you see, the white king moving to checkmate the black king is the name of the game.
And you have to understand.
And if you understand that, then you can play the black side of the chessboard playing defense, offense. You can play the victory. Do you see? But if you think you will not win any chess tournaments thinking that you can ask your opponent, it's like on a football field. Do you see? One team asking the other team to help me make points, as opposed to you must analyze, first of all, the game. You must analyze all of the moves on the field or the board that will allow you to progress forward in the presence of a structured opposition. So I suggest that black people move into the 21st century with a comprehensive understanding of chess, do you see, or a comprehensive understanding of racism, white supremacy, the necessity for playing for white genetic survival, and then the majority people on the planet who are looked upon as a threat to white genetic survival. Do you see, playing the opposite side of the chessboard for justice and peace.
Dr. Wells, we're going to take a break right here. We're going to be right back. This is Color Me Poetry.